What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Spencer. Taking a look at my Vanquish Soul list. I've actually had a lot more fun playing this than I thought I would. It's just one of my rank 4 engines, but I'll talk about what kind of makes it unique. And let's go card by card, and I'll show you guys some replays. I do run 3 of the Kaiju. It's Fire Monster, which is the most important. Fire and Earth are the 2 attributes that you want in your deck. Dark a little bit too, but definitely Fire. Fire, if you have to rank them in importance, Fire is the most. Of course, right? Ash Blossom's a fire monster, and it's also just kind of an insane card. I know I say that, but I feel like this is it's everyone uses it, and I think it's underrated still. But in any case, DD Crow, this one's like, you know what I mean? But this is your spot for like a hand trap, dark, and can't think of really much more. I mean, Skullmeister, but I kind of think that DD Crow's a little bit better. But I don't know. I guess it kind of comes. No, I would say that for sure, especially thinking about like Pearly and stuff like that. Contact C. I think this card is like really underrated. I keep saying the word underrated, like, oh, this deck is so good, but no, I'm just kidding. But Contact C, I think it's a level 6 Earth, and it's like very awkward. You know, this is very good against Pearly. This is good against Kashtira. I actually love this card. I kind of think it's a really decent tech choice. It's also not a once per turn, but it's an Earth too, so that's like obviously why I'm playing it. 1 copy of the Borger. This is a draw 1, potentially a draw 2. It's pretty good. It's a good like 1-of searcher. Same thing here. I don't even know about this card, to be honest with you. I may just end up taking it out. I think it's one of the newer ones that came out, but having to have 2 fires in your hand is a real big bummer and not really easy to accomplish if we're being honest with each other. So I don't know. I mean, maybe if you have the right hand, you special summon it and you can use the effect, but I mean, it's nice when you do get to use it, because anytime you get to go into the Link one that without using one of your level 4 bodies to do it is a very good hand. 3 copies of the Resin. This is one of the best normal summons of the deck. They do have 2 normal summons, but which is fine because the Link one helps you get basically an additional normal summon because they all have effects on normal or special. This lets you basically add any monster. This card is like, this card's actually okay. You know, it's a free special summon if you control the monsters in the main monster zone, and also it helps you destroy spells and traps. So there's like really hard like floodgates to get around. This is at least one answer in the deck that can help you get there, because you're not running like traditional spell and trap removal. It's all kind of like in the extra deck a little bit, so it's cool to have like an in-archetype thing to use. It has come up before, and I think that's what makes this a very good deck. This destroys monsters in zones, this destroys spells and traps, this bounces cards to the hand. So beside giving you advantage, which these 2 do, there's also removal. Advantage in terms of a body on board. This card's actually pretty decent. 1 copy, well, I guess I'll just finish this out. Last Vanquish Soul monster, of course, is the other normal summon, Dr. Madlove. What a name. Normal summon basically gets you to another body, which I use as level 4 extenders. And then, you know, I do run the circular package. I think this is 100%, 100,000% worth it. It's so good. It just produces like infinite level 4 bodies. However many you need, it can do, which is very unique. I guess, you technically run 2 breaks, but you really don't, because sometimes if you open Circular, it gives you an opportunity to actually normal summon Diameter and do some really cool things there. And then, of course, Nabla, basically to just get the trifecta going. And you always want to have Diameter because it's also an Omni-Negate. Okay, 2 copies of Ascended Sage, 1 copy of Shadow, so kind of random, but the new Battle in Boxen monster, I think this is new if I'm not mistaken, Dempsey. It searches a Fire Warrior, which sometimes you can actually just like straight up search Resin, which is great. But it can also search here just Shadow. Shadow's just a free special summon. I used to run a random fire monster, but I also think you should play Durandal just because this is your best like summon in the deck. But if you have this and this in your hand, it's good to also be able to search an extender. So they kind of work in tandem with each other a little bit. You can work around some things. This is okay. I mean, I definitely think this is worth playing. There's definitely been times where I've needed that 1 additional body. 3 copies of Stake Your Soul. This card's absolutely insane. It's emergency teleport. You can literally bring anything out from the deck with basically any attribute is good, right? I made the deck centered around making sure I have the attributes that I need. 1 copy of Utopia Force. This is for the little rank up engine. Called by the Grave, of course, is super important. Vanquish Soul Continue. This is the Monster Reborn. It's actually for anything too, which is nice. This is the one that sets things, like a Book of Moon things, and if you already open this is a great thing to search. 2 copies of Triple Tactics Talents. So you do have, what, like 9, 11, 13 going second cards. So like I said, it's pretty consistent because if you see this, you pretty much get to go full combo. And I'll probably show that first. I talked about Durandal and then Super Factorial. Onto the extra deck. Only one copy of the Link 1. You could probably take something out here, like among these cards. But I've never needed to use it twice, to be completely honest with you, like ever. One copy of 99 that goes along with the little package. So that's S39, number 39, and then this is Hope Harbinger. The other body that you bring out with number 99 is number 92, Hard Earth. At least the way that I play. You can also play a lot of like very traditional things. Photon Lord, and there's also like an Omni Negate. There's a billion, obviously. It's between 1 and 99. But I really like this one because it beats cards that set. And it also is like, this is something your opponent has to deal with, or they lose every card that they put into play, you know. And that just like by itself is a big threat. So your opponent usually has to like, you know, really focus some resources on that, leaving the rest of your board, you know, open for, you know, disrupting your opponent. And none of it targets. Literally nothing in this deck targets. Like even these monsters, it's crazy. It's like really, really cool. These are, of course, my extenders. Utopic Sage. Alan Berson's a free body, right? It gets you circular. This card's absurd. 2 copies of Laplation. Really, you could drop 1, and I guess you could just put another Link 1 there. Although, it has come up before, I'll be honest with you. It's a generic, you know, for, you just need 3 bodies, obviously. The F-Zero package, Zeus, and basically having 2 Zeus in a way. Exciton Knight kind of does the same thing, and you can manipulate your hand, of course, a lot. And I talked about the Battle and Boxer. So let's go ahead, let's jump over to the replays. I will show you the first one. This is just the regular combo. This is a very good opening. You know, seeing the fire, being able to special summon from the deck is pretty sick here. You know, that's DD Crow. Even though it's like kind of a weak hand trap, sometimes it can actually be really good. It is a dark, right? So that's, again, that's why you play it. Being able to draw a card, of course, is very good. And this is where I thought, you know, this is why before I had the Battle and Boxer, which would have been a pretty good extender. In fact, it's not even really going to come up. That's why I say I don't even know about Battle and Boxer. It just feels like something you should have. Just one more, you know, rank 4 just in case. But Alan Berson, being able to tribute the Link 1 is just obviously very, very cool. And that's why you really only need to play 1 copy. This was what I was playing before, and I guess I would have just searched Battle and Boxer. The end board would have been exactly the same. So I just switched out the engines. Just feel like Battle and Boxer is just an ounce, you know, better, whatever that's worth. And then set 2. And then during my opponent's draw phase, of course, I can go ahead and go for the Hard Earth. My opponent's not really playing anything, but this is the end board. I just wanted to show that. You know, Super Factorial. This actually can bring back the Borger, which can draw me another card. Or it can bring me back one of the other Vanquish Souls. I do have a Dark and a Fire. And I think that's the one for the Dark that lets you return a card to the hand. Although it is the lowest defense, so it's kind of awkward. I guess Hard Earth probably would have lost there. Which just was like question mark, but it's whatever. I think actually this one is Fire and Dark. Oh, okay. So yeah, like I could have brought this back and then like pop something, you know, depending on where it was at, which is pretty cool. And you know, besides the other thing my opponent has to deal with, this is actually a really interesting duel against Fire King. Let's go ahead and switch here. He has a very good opening, right? Pot of Extravagance. He has the field spell, you know, tanky. So I think this is probably as good as it gets for Fire King on some level. I do have DD Crow, and I think he's going to be able to dodge it, unfortunately. But I think he probably doesn't, you know, thinking back now, he's going to chain this. But I kind of don't think that he really wanted to use that then. I don't think he's going to get a ton of advantage. He doesn't, you know, obviously lose the body. But, you know, I have a lot of extenders in my hand. Again, this would have been a Battle and Boxing monster. And I don't know if that really would have made a difference here. They're both fires, too. So, of course, it doesn't change anything with Stake Your Soul. He's going to go ahead and negate there, and I can get the special summon. Yeah, and actually, I don't know. You could probably play it without Battling Boxer. It is what it is. But I can go ahead and normal summon there. That's going to search me the other 4, the Dark 4. So this is great. Like, I'm going to be able to do some pretty cool stuff here. Like, after all of that, like, my opponent had a bunch of disruption. You know, he dodged my 1 interruption, you know, going second. And then I can do the Math Mech stuff. Like I said, it's infinite rank 4 bodies. Literally as many that you want. And I can go ahead and tribute there. Nabla, besides getting Super Factorial, but, you know, I can even tribute there, and I can go into Laplation and then Laplation again. And that obviously would have been really, really good here. So that's why I think you really, really should play 2 Laplation. This one was against Punk. Okay, having a Kaiju is pretty good. Borger. I am going first, so he does have 2 traps here. I can go ahead and, when you start this way, like, you're going to have an insane end board. Like I said, this is why I don't think this card is very good. It requires 2. I don't know. It just doesn't seem great. 2 copies of Contact C, which can come up. If you use it at the right time, right, there's always like even if you're playing like a synchro deck, there's still a decent time for you to use it. Your opponent's going to have to play around it somewhat, or you can drop it on them when it's like not very convenient. I do think it comes up in this duel. Okay, I can go ahead and, bring it there and go into the Utopia, Monster Reborn. So, standard setup here. Just very consistent. Okay, and then one more, S39. Rank up into number 99, and there we go. During my opponent's turn, of course, I can go ahead and bring this out. The Ash Blossom absolutely is not coming up right now. Just go for Foxy Tune. That's fine. I don't think I need to stop this. I think only the one that Fusion summons is the one that really matters for Punk. At least that's what I've heard. So he's going to, like, boost the attack. That's fine. I have, like, battle protection, like, 5 different ways. This, like, also, like, can't be destroyed by battle, basically, which is very nice. And you can, like, attack into stuff. This is great. This is, like, really good. And then there we go. Like, this is the one that Fusion summons, but he can't, right? I don't think this is one of the materials. But yeah, Contact C is not a once per turn, which is hilarious. Who would have thought that? And here we go. Last duel is against, Hot Red. I take a very unique route here because I don't have any Vanquish Soul monsters. I'm actually going to be able to use number 99 twice, which is, pretty cool. And then there we go. Like I said, sometimes if you open Circular, you can do some pretty neat stuff. And I was able to use Diameter. I can go ahead and tribute that, go for Circular. And, I'm not going to be able to use the Sage, which is unfortunate. But again, at least I can go into, like, Hope Harbinger here, which is pretty nice. Have a couple of interruptions. I have Contact C. I have Called by the Grave. So it's a little bit more interruption than you might think. My opponent also has to, like, really deal with this, like, really hard to deal with monster. I don't want to use it yet because I do need 3 zones for Super Factorial. That is the hard part. And there goes Called by the Grave. I think that's a really good target. And then there we go, right? I'm going to get rid of the continuous spell. He's only going to have 2 cards in hand. I do have Hope Harbinger and also an Omni Negate from Loplation. And there we go. Getting rid of Archfiend. Now, the Contact C, he was forced to go into this, but that's obviously not the monster that he wanted to go into, right? He wanted to go into one that brings it back so he can start special summoning 1,000 times. But yeah, that's my quick look at Vanquish Soul. I think it's pretty cool. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section down below. Other than that, that's going to do it for today's video, and I will see you guys next time.